The ultra elite and the ultra wealthy who are actively killing our planet and destroying our society? Yeah, they know what they're doing, and they too are looking for a way out of this nightmare of a timeline. I'm Yasmin Khan with Rebel HQ, and what's more than they know what they are doing, they know that we hate them for it and they're not bothered by it. If Mark Zuckerberg watches this video, he won't care about anything I have to say because why would he? When you're one of a handful of billionaires on the entire planet, your world becomes very small and everything outside of your small bubble feels inconsequential. I feel like I say this pretty often, if not on camera, then in my personal life, but these uber wealthy CEOs and industry leaders and politicians do not care about you. That's why they're not embarrassed by anything anyone says about them in the press, because no one in the press is as important or as wealthy as they are. That's why they don't care how glaring their hypocrisy is, because the impacts their words have on regular people aren't their problem or concern. That's why they keep baiting us with culture war talking points that do not matter to keep us perpetually distracted and fighting amongst ourselves, because the more focused we are on nonsense like Lizzo playing a dead man's flute, the less focused we are on them. That's why logical arguments don't work against them, because the logic of our world doesn't necessarily make sense or hold much weight in the world of the 1%. They play by different rules in every sense of the word. And they know we don't like them. They know that we blame them for everything, and they know that it's only a matter of time before more people turn on them. Like, do you guys watch Succession? It's a good show, but it gets a little trippy. You've got a super rich media mogul a la Rupert Murdoch, who's dangling the keys to his empire in front of his 3 children and a few other hangers-on, none of whom are equipped to take over the role, but all of whom feel entitled to it. The Roy children are incredibly immature, incredibly damaged, and incredibly ignorant of the world they live in, despite having access to the best minds, the most money, and the innermost circles on the planet. But that's the thing with inner circles. They're small by definition, and the higher up you get, the smaller they get. Now, author Douglas Rushkoff has a new book out where he discusses the billionaires who are building bunkers in order to escape what they call the event. The event can be anything: a climate disaster, a failed power grid, biological or nuclear warfare, the collapse of the banking system, etc. But all it is the inevitable collapse of society for one reason or another, a collapse of which they were the architects, and a collapse that they were desperate to escape. Of course, by escape, I don't mean that they're taking responsibility for their avarice and working to right their wrongs in an effort to escape the future they've chosen to inflict on a global populace. I mean that they're looking to hide from the people that they hurt, the people who would rightfully blame them if and when whatever event came to pass. The people they chose not to care about as they drilled deeper into our planet and cut down our forests and melted our glaciers. The book is called Survival of the Richest: Escape Fantasies of the Tech Billionaires, and in an edited excerpt published in The Guardian, Rushkoff mentions that the uber wealthy who asked him to consult on their bunkers weren't concerned with finding real solutions to their problems. Again, and I can't say this enough, problems of their own making. Instead, they were terrified of people and were concerned with how to ensure loyalty from their armed guards during the event. Rushkoff suggested they just be nice to their guards from now, but the men he was addressing had other ideas, like fitting their guards with shock collars or locking the food away from them. They also seemed well aware that in the event of the event, their money would be useless. The only thing that's ever mattered to them in their lives, the thing that they pursued relentlessly and ruthlessly and heartlessly at the expense of literally everyone else, would just become worthless. Because as we all know, money is just a thing that we made up. It has no real inherent value. Crypto loses its value if the system goes down. It's just a thing that we made up. One thing that I think about a lot is how small the world is and how young it is. If you think about it, there have been several constants in our lives. Let's say the United States is one of them. There's only one United States, just as there's only one China or one Russia or one France or whoever, but those are norms in our human lives. It's not like there's another huge, massive land that is yet to be discovered. We've hit the height of existence as we know it before venturing beyond our planet. The capitalism, communism debate is another constant in society. The histories of colonialism and slavery and genocide, all irreversible, are part of a single timeline on a single plane that we all exist on. These are the realities of our world, and unless we somehow figure out how to jump to another dimension, we're stuck here in this shared reality. But that's exactly what these rich preppers are challenging. Rushkoff said in his piece, quote, "Taking their cue from Tesla founder Elon Musk colonizing Mars, Palantir's Peter Thiel reversing the aging process, or artificial intelligence developers uploading their minds to supercomputers, they were preparing for a digital future that had less to do with making the world a better place than it did with transcending the human condition altogether. Their extreme wealth and privilege served only to make them obsessed with insulating themselves from the very real and present danger of climate change, rising sea levels, mass migrations, global pandemics, nativist panic, and resource depletion. For them, the future of technology is about one thing only: escape from the rest of us. And are we really that bad? Are we really that different from a nerdy Harvard student with no friends and highly questionable ethics? If you ask me, people are getting tired of living this way, in a way where moneyed interests make all the decisions and do whatever they want, and the rest of us have no say in it. We all should be able to enjoy our planet the way the wealthy get to. I can't even go to a creek and have a sit these days because it's probably on some government property, or it's probably fenced off by some investor who's just holding onto the land for a tax break. We watch our green spaces get paved over for another strip center or church or gas station or parking lot. We watch oil and carcinogens spill into our water supplies, and they just tell us to boil the water before drinking it and shower with our mouths closed. We watch prices for everything, including food, go up, and they blame it on inflation while they line their pockets with our cash. And then they tell us to be grateful because they're the ones making the world a better place. The system is bunk and everyone knows it, including them, and I don't know what will happen, and I don't know what kind of event is coming or if it will come at all, but at what point does the will of billions trump the will of a few thousand narcissists? All right, that's it for me. Please like and subscribe if you got something out of this content, and be sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok.